When I tried to refinance my house, not taking money out, I had made every payment and I tried to refinance. I had to jump through hoops to refinance my house when I said, well, I've had a loan with you for 7 years. I just want to refinance. Why are you acting like I'm not going to pay my loan? And there's all kinds of hoops to jump through when people with less money try and get loans and then the interest rate is really high. Now, do I have a real strong opinion about this yet? No, because I haven't read enough, but I did read cursory explanation that people that could afford a higher interest rate would be given a higher interest rate and people who couldn't would get a lower interest rate. And that's the most I know about it. But I want to do a little anecdotal story. Is in 1986, and it was during the Reagan years, but I can't blame Ronald Reagan for this. It's really hard to blame a president for an interest rate. I bought a house and my interest rate was 16.5%. And then I was able to refinance to 11 a few years later. The lowest interest rate I ever got between 1975, when I bought my first house, till 1999, when I sold my last house, was 6%. I never got 4% or 2.5%. My interest rate was incredibly high. And like I said, at the peak of December in 1986, my interest rate was 16.5% on my house. Have you ever seen? Only credit cards are 16 and higher. Houses have not been at that price. And see, no one has a historical perspective on these things. 16.5%, that's 1/6 of your mortgage. 16.5% is 1/6. That's a lot of money. I mean, usually think of an interest rate, 1/6 of 100%. Mortgage rates are usually below 6. Have been below 6 forever. People don't realize how lucky they were. And everybody complains. I wanted a home. I found a home we loved, and it was 16.5. Eat that. I mean, come on. People these days have never seen that. And some of the mistakes people have made with their mortgages is that they didn't read the fine print. Always read the fine print. Every single word, every single page, read everything, ask questions. Just don't sign on the bottom line. That's where you get into trouble. And I knew it was 16.5% because I had shopped a loan to qualify for a loan before I went to look for a house. You could still do that. See what you were qualified for and then shop in that price range. But I knew it was 16.5%, and I had a great credit score. I had nothing to do with that. That's what interest rates were after Jimmy Carter and during the Reagan years. I probably refinanced my house one more time in the 90s, maybe twice. And then I said, I don't want to own a home anymore. It's too much. If you're not capitalized and you don't have enough money, this American dream, honestly, it's not. Because if you think about it, owning a home, if you buy a home where you're going to live the rest of your life and you have an opportunity to pay it off and you love it, that's one thing. But if you're buying a home and you don't know what the future brings, that home could be a real burden and it could really harm you. So you have to really go in with your eyes open when you purchase a home, especially in a high dollar area. You don't have to think so much about it if you're able to have a high salary and buy low in an area that you can afford the house. But if you are on the verge of not being able to afford the house, if anything goes wrong, don't buy a house. You can't. It's too sketchy. Look at now what happens. People are losing their jobs in the tech industry. They all bought homes based on their salaries.